Hello. On this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make truly secure channels that only certain people can get into. Now, usually the way that you secure a channel, it means that whoever has a certain server group or a certain just any old channel group will get them in to the channel. So the difference is sometimes you don't want anybody and everybody who has a certain channel group to get in. Sometimes you only want certain people to get in. So what you need to do is go to Settings, Options, under Application, make sure you have the Advanced Permission System enabled. So for this example, I'm going to create a channel. Security Zone 1. Now, in order to prepare for what I'm going to show you, I need you to go to Permissions, Channel Groups, and for all of your real channel groups, not the guest, because that's the default. For the real ones, what I need you to do is go to Channel, Access, and enable these three join permissions. Join permanent, join semi-permanent, and join temporary. Enable those three for all of your channel groups, except for the default one. Okay, once you've got that done, then if we bring in a new name, so a random guy connects, he can come into this because we haven't done anything with it yet. So in order to prevent this, what we do is we right click on this channel and go to Channel Permissions. That brings up this tab. So now we can see the permissions for this channel. So if we untick this and then go to the access permissions, so that's under Channel and Access, what we can do now, first of all, you have to understand that a server group can give you permissions, but unless those permissions have been skipped here, if they haven't been skipped, a channel or a channel group can overwrite those permissions. So for example, this voice has these three checked. They are enabled. But if someone has a server group where they're disabled, for the place in the server where they have this channel group of voice, it will effectively be as if they're enabled because the channel group overwrites a server group. And just the same, a channel group permission overwrites a permission that's been set onto a channel itself. So what this enables us to do, if we go back to the Channel Permissions tab, is click the channel we want to secure, go to Channel, Access, enable these three as we did before, so they're lit up and they're ticked, and then we untick them like that. So what this will do is this will enforce on everybody the fact that they can't join a channel. They physically have no ability to join a channel, and since this has been set onto a channel itself, it will only affect them for this channel. So if I go to this random guy and try connect to this channel, try and join it, it won't. It's telling you that you don't have the ability to join permanent channels. Now if I create more channels, they don't have a problem joining that because we haven't added any permissions like this that takes away the ability. So doing this is only going to affect and protect the channels that you've done this to. Okay. So what this enables you to do is if you want to let somebody go into this particular channel, you just drag them into the channel and then you give them any old channel group. Since all of these real channel groups have the ability to join channels, that will overwrite the channel permissions that say you can't, because a channel group overwrites a channel permission, and both of these two overwrite server groups. So what we'll do is we've dragged him into the channel and we'll give him a channel group of voice. So now he can come in this channel, into that channel, and into the other channel because he's got a channel group which will give him the ability. Now we can take this another step by, on this same secure channel, we can add, either doing it here or by right clicking and hitting edit, you could set a join power of 50 requirement and perhaps a subscribe power of 50. So this means that in order for someone to actually join this channel or see into the channel, they have to have a power of 50. But in order to, like, if I try this now, I can't join this channel because the voice channel group has not been given any actual powers yet, other than the fact that they can technically be able to join channels. So if we give this a join power of 50 and a channel subscribe power of 50 for this voice channel group, which we've given the person inside here, and we click this to unsubscribe from all channels, and then click it, now you can see the little check mark again. Well, that means you can see inside the channel. So this random guy can now, once again, go into this channel, any old channel, because I've now given the voice channel group a join and a subscribe of 50. Now, that's fine, but if you have people, like let's say this is an admin server group, and you set things up correctly, like I've shown you on previous tutorial videos, people who have a server group that has a join power of 50, like this, they could also get in. So if we take this guy's away as a demonstration, give him guest, and then send him out. Now this guy can't see inside the channel, but if we give him the normal server group, now he can't join it, but he can see inside because we've secured it so that the channel itself will take away the ability to join, which, remember, channel permissions and channel groups overwrite a server group. So even though the server group has the ability to join, and it even has the power necessary to join, it still cannot join because the requirement to be able to even join a channel at all is taken away by the channel itself. So, but as you can see, he can see inside the channel, which is a problem. So in order to prevent this and add extra security, even from your admins, like your sub-admins, all you have to do is go back to the channel that you want to secure, go into the permissions by right-clicking it and hitting channel permissions. All you need to do, just like we took away the ability to join the channel by adding the ability and then taking it away forcefully like this, we can do the same thing with the join power and the subscribe power. So if we forcefully on this channel put the join power at 0 and the subscribe power at 0, as you can see, it just vanished. And then what we can additionally do is set it so that in order to join this channel, you have to have 50 join power, and in order to subscribe, aka see inside the channel, you have to have 50. So what this means is that nothing this guy does, even though he has a server group of normal, which meets the requirements, he's got a join power and a subscribe power of 50, and is enabled to join channels, yet he can't click and get into the channel, he can't see who's in the channel. Like if I, as the owner, join the channel, he knows that somebody moved into the channel, but he can't see anyone while they're in there, and it doesn't tell him that there's anybody in there either. So with this, you can either make it so that in order for somebody to be able to come in, you just drag them into the channel and give them any old channel group, like voice, and then they can come and go. Or if you want to additionally set it by join power or subscribe power or anything like that, and you've got different groups here in the channel groups with all their different levels of join power and subscribe power, then even though you've given someone a lower level group, they won't be able to get in there themselves because the group they have doesn't meet the requirements. So for identification purposes, you could see this person is a voice, but if they don't have the ability to have enough join power and subscribe power, they wouldn't be able to get inside or see inside by themselves. You'd have to drag them in, And then once they're in there, they would have whatever abilities you've given them from that group. So that is how you make completely secure channels. The only person who can by default get into them, other than the people you've set, is the person who owns the server, who has the server admin server group. And the reason why that is because under the client permissions, there's this permission, which is so important and so able to bypass things that they actually give you a warning message down here letting you know that that permission has been enabled for this server group. So if I click normal, it goes away. So you should never allow the rest of your admins to have this, because it bypasses all channel and channel group permissions, which effectively lets them go here, there, and everywhere without having to worry about, do they have permission to get in? But let's say you've got a certain class of admin that you need them to be able to get into every channel, because that's the way you want to design your server. Well, what you do is let's say this right here, this is our sub-admin server group. In order for you to make it so that they can join every server and see join every channel and see inside of every channel, you click their server group and then go to channel, and then you see how they have an ability to join, an ability to subscribe, and an ability to see the descriptions. Well, if you remember, you can set those requirements on channels to a higher number, which means they wouldn't actually have the ability, because like if you set them all to 75 on a channel and they have 50, they won't be able to get in. So the sneaky way of fixing this is by making it so that wherever these admins, these sub-admins are in the server, every channel, instead of having the requirement power that was set onto the channel, you can force it to be 0. So if we put needed channel join power at 0 and skip it, do the same for needed channel subscribe power, put it to 0 and skip it, and do the same thing for needed channel description power, 0, and skip it. This now means that wherever the person goes, every channel will be treated as if it has a requirement of 0 for this particular person who's of this particular server group. For everybody else, if a channel is set to have a 75 requirement, it will be 75. But for these particular people, the server and the person in this server group will be treated as if every channel has got no requirement whatsoever. So since they have a join power of 50, they can always get into the channel. And in order to make sure that the channels can't prevent that, you need to skip these join permissions so that no matter where they're trying to go, they always have the technical ability to join a channel. And then since they have a level of 50, which is above 0 for the actual power to do these things, you are then forcefully making every channel act to this person who's got this channel, this server group. It'll make it act as if there has been no requirement set. So by default, they now exceed the requirements for the channel as far as they are concerned themselves. So if we take this guy's channel group away, which should mean they don't have access, because we've now given them the ability via these permissions to skip this and then manually make sure that the needed requirement is always 0 no matter what, now this person can come into every channel while everyone else on the server will be subject to the restrictions and be completely unable to see inside the channel or join it, even if they have perhaps a different admin position. Maybe you have like a third level of admin. They would not be able to get into this secure channel and all the other ones that you've done this little technique to, because they haven't got these things set up so that they can bypass it. So by doing this, you have a completely secure system that people cannot bypass. They cannot get in if you haven't given them permission, But if you really, really want to, you have a method of enabling specific people to go anywhere in the server, if you really need that kind of ability. So I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. Please like and subscribe if you did find it useful, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.